In the early 2000s, the fragrance aisle was a highly segregated place. You had delicate, airy florals neatly packaged for women on one side, and sharp, rigid woods boxed up for men on the other. Perfume was largely treated as a polite afterthought to high fashion. It was an invisible accessory meant to whisper, never shout. Then, fresh off highly successful runs directing Gucci and Yves Saint Laurent, Tom Ford launched an independent brand under his own name in 2005. Looking at the state of the market, he saw an industry completely stripped of danger. It was missing the heavy, cinematic glamour of early Hollywood. He decided to build a house based on an aggressive thesis. Scent shouldn't be safe. It should be a deliberate, unapologetic projection of power and sexuality. This launch shifted the industry's gravity. Ford gambled that luxury was most effective when it was confrontational, and the market immediately agreed. The house's foundational scent, Black Orchid, debuted in 2006. The goal was to bottle a flower that does not actually exist in nature. To create this dark illusion, the formulation relied heavily on deep, earthy base notes like black truffle, patchouli, and incense, creating a remarkably dense profile. This chart shows the initial target demographic for Black Orchid, geared entirely toward women. But looking at the actual purchasing data, we see an immediate, massive surge in male consumers actively buying the perfume for themselves. Capitalizing on that cross-gender demand, Ford launched the Private Blend collection in 2007. He treated this line as his own personal laboratory, stripping away mass-market focus groups to experiment with challenging, high-cost ingredients. One early experiment was oud wood. It prominently featured agarwood, an incredibly rare dark resin formed inside infected tropical trees, known as liquid gold. While oud had been a staple in Eastern perfumery for centuries, this specific release dragged the heavy, polarizing material directly into Western department stores, igniting a trend that continues to dominate the industry today. The industry had long assumed that mass-market buyers wanted safety. These sales numbers proved the opposite. There was a massive, untapped appetite for the complexity and weight of niche perfumery. That prestige required a very specific physical vessel. The Private Blend liquids are housed in dark, heavy glass that projects immediate weight and permanence. The sharp angles and thick bases pull direct inspiration from antique apothecary jars, mimicking their utilitarian purpose and sense of scientific order. They also mirror the rigid, tiered silhouettes of traditional chess pieces, lending a highly structured, tactical nature to the presentation. To counter this rigid, almost clinical architecture, the brand deployed highly aggressive visual campaigns. Often shot by